we get through this trial.
I'll be fine.
I don't even know, like, is it a 2-day trial? It might be. Let's... It's just, they're so long. I've pressed any key. I've hit the continue button. And we're going back to the adventure of the Cloud Kokoro. We convinced the jury that the lad did not do the kill because he probably went to the other side of the road, but then he was like, but the road work, that was only like a meter of road work. They could just walk around, and then I forget what went on.
Witnesses, please state your names and occupations for the courts.
Oh God.
Is he okay?
Clearly not.
Constable Rolly Beatty, sir! Nothing to report on the street, sir!
Is her name Polly?
Oh, maybe.
Polly?
I hope so.
Oh, it's just Patricia. That's disappointing. And I'm Mrs. Beach. Patricia's my name. I'm proud to say I'm this young town hero's wife.
What's the story here?
Well, in truth, we've not been married long. In fact, we celebrated our first anniversary only the other day. Their 1 month anniversary.
Wait, wasn't... That sounds like one of the Ace Attorney games, like they were only together for a month. Might be Larry. No. It was your husband I was talking about. He seems... tired.
Hardly surprising. He's been streaming 5 hours straight. Whilst being an honorable occupation, patrolling the beat is the most demanding work in the world.
Oh, really? I'm sure I've heard that before, actually. Not that I remember, because it was months ago.
Indeed, apart from rare days off, our gallant officers trudge some 20 miles a day, you know.
Uphill, both ways.
I patrol boarding houses and pubs, collect taxes, survey the streets, check that meters are reading true. The lot. And they're responsible for keeping the streets clean and lighting and extinguishing our streetlights. There are a number of items on that list that don't sound much like policing duties at all.
Wouldn't just be falling asleep on my feet. What?
Over here we call it shit work.
I'd have collapsed long ago.
But it goes without saying that a policeman's primary duty is the apprehension of criminals. Even when he's off duty, a constable is expected to investigate and resolve any crimes on his beat.
Oh wait, I'm not saying the word constable, right? Like, we Australians say it in a way that sounds like a bad word.
For the London Bobby is a man of honour.
What do British people do that as well? I don't know. And a man of slumber.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, I'll just say that the O sounds a lot more like a U.
Okay, I guessed, but didn't want to assume.
On the day in question, this man and his wife were walking down Briar Road in the opposite direction. And they witnessed the incident as it occurred. Is that not correct, Mr. and Mrs. Beat?
That's right, sir. Isn't it, Rolly?
I don't want to character act this guy too much or it'll make me tired. Constable Roy Beat, sir! Nothing to report on the street, sir! What a great witness he's going to be. Then Renosuke's not that much better.
Very good. I'd like to hear your formal testimonies now, please. You will tell the court exactly what you saw on the afternoon of the...
Yes, sir!
It was our wedding anniversary and Rolly was taking me out for a meal. There was no time to change after work.
Sorry, I picked that too quickly.
Anyway, two silhouettes appeared out of the fog in the pavement in front of us. All of a sudden, one of them collapsed on the floor, and then the other scattered something before running off. We ran straight over, of course, and then went for help at a nearby police box. It was definitely that Japanese man on the dock. Rolly and I both saw him as clear as day.
Well, this is extremely compelling testimony, I must say. Is it?
I mean, it's the prosecution is called witness, so they have to be telling the truth. Also, wait, no. What was the thing I was supposed to do? Like when they do ... I was supposed to go or something. Like what was it? Oh yeah, it was. But that's when the other
I
guys.
think that's
Yeah.
one prevents you.
Yeah.
Oh dear, this policeman and his wife are claiming to have positively identified as the Nazi man on the scene.
They couldn't have negatively...
Anyway, if the testimony is true, the alternative course of events that you established in the summation examination will be quashed.
It's death knell, in fact. Because that alternative was never viable in the first place.
What an unfortunate bechancing. And on your wedding anniversary too.
Oh, I know, but I still managed to go out for the evening with my man. I thank the Lord for that. Jesus Christ.
I never want to say that ever again. Gosh, life of London Bobby sounds very hard indeed.
Indeed. However, this cross-examination will be over in minutes. You may well have time to rest this afternoon.
What do you mean by that?
My learned friend, the witnesses saw the face of the man fleeing the sea. They are testifying under oath that it was without doubt the accused, Mr. Sasuke Natsume.
That sounded like Mr. Sasuke nuts. What?
Wait, where do I know those names? Oh,
And one of these witnesses is a policeman, no less. So, you appreciate the gravity of the situation, I'm sure.
except that the man's so tired, his wife has to do all the talking.
Enough preamble. Counsel for the defense, commence the cross-examination, please.
Yes, my lord. So I don't know. Like, I'm definitely not tired, but I do remember paying attention to a single word she said. So I need to read this
And
again.
nothing of value was lost that day.
So silhouettes appeared in the fog and in front of us. All of a sudden, one of them just collapsed on the floor, the other scattered something running off. He ran straight of course and went to help the police box. He was definitely okay. So they just saw, they think they saw him. Okay.
They basically just said, we saw him and we know that's him. That's it.
No time to change after work, you say? Are you also a member of the police, Mrs. B? I'm just saying, I've played enough Among Us to know when people say it's definitely that person, it's definitely not.
It's definitely not. Yeah,
And
exactly.
that's not even someone who's like doing the wrong thing. It's just someone who's dumb.
Yep.
Patricia.
Oh no, sadly not. It's a job for strapping young men only. Women, children, and the elderly can't even apply.
Well, I think you could probably see why children and the elderly can't do the job, can't you?
I think Foley looks ever so handsome in his uniform. It suits you down the ground, doesn't it, darling?
He's just gonna say the same thing again, isn't he? What? I just finished my beat! I can't. I need like a cop line to. Pat and I were heading back to the station. I was actually planning on getting changed there. I need to make him sound tired, actually. Is he talking in his sleep? That is creepy.
Oh no, really. I much prefer you in uniform. Sometimes I don't recognize you when I see you in plain clothes.
They have a weird relationship, if I might say so. Oh dear, that doesn't seem healthy. You don't say. Kindly adhere to the point. You're going for a meal after you had finished your beat for the day, correct?
That's right, sir, yes. Although I was fit to drop, to be honest. After spending the whole day on my feet. But policing is my life, sir. As long as I'm the proud owner of this, I'll serve my city and my king to the end. What's that now? My warrant card, sir. Proof that I'm a London copper. It has the noble foundings and principle of the force written on it as a reminder for all us policemen of our sworn duty to patrol the streets of London town and uphold the peace of the common man. Sir, and for just such a noble cause, I cover 20 miles every day without fail and without a grumble. Because I know the prodding of my boots is all Londoners need to hear to feel safe and secure. So, fighting crime doesn't appear to come into it then. But sir, just on that one particular day, I was looking forward to celebrating my wedding anniversary. Miss Beat puts up with a lot of being married to a bobby like me. I wanted to show my dear wife how much I care. Oh, Pat.
Oh, Valley! Oh, what a charming couple! The young love is such a joy to behold.
No, it's not.
If a little over the top, perhaps.
And then, kindly describe what happened next.
Two silhouettes appeared out of the fog in the pavement in front of us.
Hold it!
Press charges. Two silhouettes.
That's right. They were coming towards us, walking up Rye Road in the opposite direction. There was a rather plump figure, followed by a scrawny, thin-looking man. That does sound exactly like the victim as pictured in this print. Like Mr. Natsu.
Yes, unfortunately it does.
And you're certain that at that time there was nobody else nearby?
Oh yes, quite certain. It was dark, but there are street lights on Briar Road, you see. There was nobody else around at all. Isn't that right, my darling?
What? Ah, yes, that's right, of course. There was a light fall on the ground. But Briar Road is dead straight and you could see a very long way down the pavement. And then there's a street lighting as well. I didn't see any other...
Before sleep takes a firm hold, your answer please, Mr. Beat. Are you quite sure of what you've just said?
Yes, sir. The copper spends all day, every day, keeping watch on the street. I swear to it, sir. I'm as sure as my love for Patricia is true. Oh, Pat. They still maintaining there was no one else around other than the victim in the attack. It's starting to seem like that must be how it really happened. I guess I'm just sometimes you have to defend the crooks.
It's beginning to seem like there's nowhere to run.
Well, that didn't stop Mr. Nutsme, did it? He's found the scene all too convincingly.
Thank you. I believe we have a reasonably clear idea of the situation just before the incident now. What happened in the crucial moments that followed?
Oh, sorry. All of a sudden, one of them just collects on the floor, and then the others scattered before running off. Hold it! Didn't say which one of them. Scattered something. What do you mean by that?
Oh, well, I couldn't quite make out what it was at the time. But then we got closer. Then when we got closer, we realized what it was. Didn't we, darling?
Well, oh yes, that's right. It was some old books.
I see. Old books.
Yes, sir! The culprit had dropped a number of them all around where the victim lay on the pavement. I cannot control this voice.
Indeed, it's clearly pictured in this photographic print.
That rotten Japanese man did that when you did the deed.
Hold it!
Let's not forget that it remains to be established that the defendant was indeed the attacker. Oh, we saw him! It was the man in the dock without question, sir! The moustache, the hunchback, the cat-like eyes, the tail mouth, the snub nose, everything! Any more insults you want to throw in?
That's right. You looked down at that poor defenseless woman with those terrifying, intense eyes. And then suddenly, threw his books into the pavement and ran away.
I see. This is tough. They seem as though they're telling the truth here.
May I remind the court, this unambiguous testimony comes from a policeman and his wife. Now please, continue.
Yes, sir! Which is why he stops continuing. We ran straight over, of course, and then went for help at a nearby police box.
Hold it!
Was it your husband who went to fetch help?
No, I won't. I may not be a police officer myself, but I am the proud wife of one after all. Isn't that right, my darling?
Oh, I wish I had a scarf. Actually, maybe it's for the best that I.
Would you grab yourself?
Yes.
In that case? That's pretty funny.
Yes, that's right. I asked Miss. That just turned into Borat. I asked Miss B to go. I was off duty by that point. But Bubba is never truly off duty. So, of course, so I felt obliged to stay the guard the scene.
Very laudable, Mr. Booth. Preserving the scene of a crime is a task of considerable importance.
That's why I sent Patricia, you see. I told her where to find the right police box. Forgive my ignorance, but what do you exactly mean by the right police box? Depends on a crime's location, you see, as to who deals with it. Where the woman was stabbed wasn't actually on my beat. So I told Patricia the way to the police box for the beat. The incident fell under so she could go and report it.
I ran there as quickly as I could and asked for help with the Bobby on duty. There was nothing more potent than a young couple in love working together, you know?
And thanks to your swift response, the case was quickly resolved. The actions of two model citizens.
Oh, please, you're making us blush, isn't he, darling?
What are the odds that she just drugged him? That's why he's so tired all the time.
Yes, sir. What Patricia said, sir. Oh, but then like, what's the reason for this though? Yeah. Is this something nefarious?
Who knows?
Let's move on, Shark. What if, you know, the defense rattled the witnesses? For once, we're the bad guys. It was definitely that Japanese man. Doc Rolly and I saw him as clear as day. But surely you wouldn't have been able to see his face by the light of the gas street lamps, would you?
We absolutely could. Us Londoners have
Exceptional? Really? Did I say that? Exceptional eyesight, I'll have you know.
I'm glad you did that while I was acting out the motions there and flubbed the line, so I had to do it for longer. Right.
Note to self.
The light from the street lamps is more than enough.
I gotta be easy on this. I'll
This
help
is
myself.
fine.
That's a
And
new
the
line.
husband already told you that the fog was only light, didn't he?
Yes, and what of the fog?
We are famous for it across the globe, I believe. But it's an absolute menace to those of us who have delivered it, of course.
Oh, it is. And it's thick. You can't even see the hand at the end of your own arm.
Did we save that guy? He seems in pain.
It's alright. I take your point. Now, could you stop shaking your husband about? My neck's stuck.
The constant fog makes our eyes very sharp, you see. That's why we can tell you for sure and certain that it was that little Japanese man we saw.
That sounds so racist. Can't we, darling?
I mean, they're
Why
British
am I
people.
saying he's fine?
Like, if anything, it's not racist enough to be, like, true to the period.
Yes. It was the Yakuza.
and no mistake. The moustache, the hunchback, the cat-like eyes, the taut mouth, and the snub nose. Unmistakable, sir! As far as this couple's testimony is concerned, there can't be any question. It was Sasuke's son they saw running away from the scene of the crime. So that's it, is it? That's their entire testimony.
What do you think, Mr. Naruto?
Well, I hate to admit that, but on hearing the testimony, it really does seem as though Mr. and Mrs. B saw what they say they saw. Mr. Natsume running away from the scene on Briar Road that day.
Yes, I feel the same.
So if that's true, where does it leave us?
The members of the jury are sure to call for a guilty verdict after this testimony.
Oh no! That's bad! Then what do we do?
Shit. If Kazuma-sama were here,
He would have sold it already.
Yep.
What are you trying to say?
I think he would try to find a contradiction somewhere else within the testimony.
You mean somewhere else?
There's things about seeing Mr. Natsume as unequivocal. Calling that into question won't help. But if you could identify some other part of the testimony which appears to contradict the facts, you might be able to discredit them, to make the jury doubt that the pair's testimony of the day is accurate.
Oh. Right.
Put simply, we must focus on finding a discrepancy in their statement somewhere. If we don't, I'm afraid the trial may reach an early and unfavorable decision.
Ugh. Why do I always have to seem so up against it? It's like a video game.
Mr. Lawyer, sir, can I ask you something?
Oh! Yes, of course. What is it?
Well, you keep asking us all these questions about everything we've told you, so... Seems like you don't believe our testimony. What the hell is she doing?
He's a marionette.
Is that right? Is it? Well, out of it.
Wait, are marionettes the ones with strings or not?
Marionettes are the ones with strings.
Then it's just a puppet. What? No, no, no. Oh no, it's really not that at all.
My husband's a policeman, remember? And I know what I saw. I remember every last detail. Everything. Like... Oh, I know. What about the books the man dropped? I could tell you the names of every single one I could. Every single one. And you dare to question how reliable my testimony is. No, it won't do at all. That Japanese lawyer has no idea what I'm capable of.
No, she's not making the argument sound.
Even if I decide to forgive him for insulting us, don't think for a minute that Rolly will.
I really didn't mean to cause offense. Please put your husband's fist down. What if it's Rolly?
Perhaps you would like the opportunity to supplement your testimony in this speech. Might that appease you?
Oh, thank you, my lord. That would settle things nicely. Wouldn't it, darling?
I said, wouldn't it?
Do what? Oh,
Like, just be... have Yandere vibes?
have what vibes?
Yandere.
Oh, right, yeah.
The scary one.
Yandy.
Yandere. Right.
I don't know. Yes, we know that there were books dropped at the scene of the crime, as you said.
Those purchased by the accused at the nearby second-hand bookshop on the day in question.
After I'd been to the police box for help, I decided to have a good look over the area for good measure. I'm a proud policeman's wife after all. I did it for Rolly.
And what was your husband doing at the time?
Sleeping. He was sleeping.
Oh, he was lying face down in snow, getting some well-deserved rest. He works ever so hard, you know. Ever so hard. Don't you, my darling?
What does his hat look like? It has bandages.
Interesting way of going to the scene of the crime.
Well, Mrs. Beach, seeing as you've regaled the court with tales of your powers of recollection, would you be so kind as to recount the titles of the books you observed and seen?
I'd be happy to. Now, are you all listening? There was The Picture of Monsieur Somebody or Other, and What's It Yearnings.
Well, her memory's really good. Stellar, if I might say so.
And there was, A Meal for Someone, and the last one was definitely The Thingummy's Something.
This is a great
I
Jeopardy
assure
category.
you, those are all accurate. You see,
Yes, I see there are one or two holes in your memory. The music's like got dramatic, and he does not have the expression of sure.
oh well, they were along those lines, I'm quite sure.
There were indeed books found at the scene with titles along those lines, as you put it.
Well, what did I tell you? So I think it's very mean the way you've been implying that my testimony can't be trusted. Don't you agree, darling?
Anyone who upsets my Patricia will have to have me to answer to. Terrifying.
Yes, she really is. So that's it, is it? That's it. Hang on. Where were the books written? There's a fourth book. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
Maybe.
Objection!
Music stops?
Oh.
So,
Yep.
you're saying there were 4 books.
That's right, I remember all of them. The Picture of Monster Somebody, What's It Yearnings, A Meal for Someone, and The Thingummy's Something.
I'm sorry, Miss Beat. But there's a fundamental flaw in that statement of yours.
Oh no, what? What flaw?
Simply, that at the time of the crime, there were only 3 books! Not 4!
What?
This
is the receipt from the bookshop where the defendant bought his books.
Your books. My books.
Yes, and it details Mr. Natsume's purchases that day. But as you can see, only 3 books are listed.
Only 3? But no, that can't be. I remember seeing them. There were 4 books, I tell you. 4 dirty old books.
Oh really? Have a good look at this photograph. This kind of always makes me laugh. As you can clearly see from this evidence as well, well, not really clearly because she could easily be in front of them or it's off screen. There are only 3 books, if it's even she.
But I just don't believe it. I saw them there. I swear it. I saw them.
No, madam. I'm afraid your powers of observation cannot be relied upon. So it cannot be denied that though you say it was the defendant you saw, you could very well be mistaken!
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
Objection!
Sorry.
It's plainly evident that it is your powers of deduction that cannot be relied upon, my learned Nipponese friend.
What?
What cannot be denied is that these 2 witnesses saw the accused running from the scene. A fact that you know very well you have no hope of disproving.
Ah! You caught me on the more important thing.
So you've striven to avert attention from that by dint of some inconsequential discrepancies. Would that be fair?
Seems right for him.
But your plan is somewhat recoil against you.
What are you talking about?
It's quite simple. Let me explain the toast to evil. To the policeman's wife and her entirely accurate testimony in every respect.
Oh.
You see, the matter is not up for debate. At the scene on Briar Road, a total of 4 books were most definitely found.
Objection!
But what about the photographic print? It shows only 3 books. Are we really gonna do this? Are we really doing this?
Quite right. Only 3 can be seen in that print. But you didn't get the updated autopsy photo.
That print. You mean to say I have been withholding evidence?
Allow me to present another one that shows the victim's hand.
I don't believe it. It's the 4th book in evidence that wasn't submitted to court, or it was and I didn't look.
As you
it's
observe,
the updated autopsy report again.
Did Gum Fudge not tell you?
the 4th book was hidden from view in the original print by the victim's torso.
No. No!
Why did you jinx it? You said it. Why did you jinx it?
Order! Order! There. You see? You see? Look at that. Look! Look!
Yes.
I'm doing fine.
You're not doing the snake voice, it could be worse.
Hmm? Oh,
You're not doing
true.
the snake voice.
Isn't it, my darling?
Yes, sir! Patricia's always right, sir.
Let us study the receipt for the books purchased by the accused on the day in question. Mrs. Beat, the titles once again, if you please.
Yes, of course. The picture of Monsieur somebody or other.
The picture of Monsieur Leclerc.
What's the earnings?
Canterbury earnings.
A meal for someone.
A meal for Gaboria, in fact. As the court has just heard, the witness remembers the book titles flawlessly, save for a few minor details.
That's an interesting definition of fight flawlessly.
Mrs. Beat's powers of recollection can only be described as exceptional.
Did you hear that, Rowan? That gentleman paid me a compliment.
Yes, sir! Flawless, sir! Patricia is flawless! But there are only 3 books that I've seen Mrs. B mentioned before.
There's nothing surprising about that. Obviously, the 4th book is that which is shown in this photographer print.
I'm sorry, Consul. Does that not seem odd? Why should the 4th book be omitted from the receipt?
It's not odd at all, my lord. As the photograph clearly shows, the 4th book was found in the victim's clutches. In other words, it belongs to the victim.
The victim was holding her own book?
I wonder what became of that 4th book.
Obviously, it wasn't overlooked by the investigating officers at Scotland Yard. I have it here as evidence.
You will submit that and the aforementioned photographic print to court, please, Consul.
And-
Please stop me going from evidence.
Sorry, I zonked out a touch.
My pleasure, my lord.
I'm not tired, I swear. I might be tired.
The prosecution rests. I have nothing further to add.
What?
You seem surprised, my learned friend. But your resistance until now has been in vain. Entertaining, yes, but futile. The spurious longer route to the accused's lodgings that you tried to establish in your summation examination, and the attempted discrediting of the witness's powers of recollection in your cross-examination.
Futile. I walked right into this, didn't I?
You see, everything was said is true. Isn't that right, my darling?
Yes, Pat, marry me, Pat.
So, perhaps the ladies and gentlemen of the jury would like to reconsider their positions. Should the court waste any more time on this Nippertese tragedy?
Travesty.
Or is the decision you've made to have to make all too apparent already? You've heard all the witnesses and seen all the evidence. This trial has run its course.
Mr. Naruhodo, I'm afraid we're in a terribly precarious position.
I know, but if I have fight back in the wrong way now, I could very well just make matters worse. Think, Frisky, think. What do you do now? I say I get up and walk around for a bit because, gosh, I need a stretch.
Yes. Sure.
If nothing else, I'm very curious to look back at this VOD because I'm pretty sure I half dozed off for a moment there, and I want to see what that looks like.
That didn't take very long.
I don't know. It's just like the game gets on such autopilot. Like it's been like nearly 50 minutes, and I've done one thing.
I genuinely, I do wonder how Melindoro managed to do the entire, like, 4 chapters in one stream. I honestly don't get it. I genuinely don't.
I mean, he's better at doing longer streams than I am, I think.
I mean, even so, like...
Objection!
But like, then again, I did a 13-hour stream when I was doing nothing but gaming, so clearly there's something in that.
Yeah, because the visual novels are a bit different. More painful, whatever.
I'm not done yet.
No, my learned friend, it's over. That last cross-examination was your final chance to establish credible defense, and you failed. The tide's been cast.
I see how you're trying to keep yourself awake now.
No, I'm just saying, what, the way I was talking or the way I'm sitting?
Yes, the way that you're talking.
There's no more room for debate.
Well, it might be over as far as you're concerned, but dots! Ah, I can't think of what to say! I just said I'll object without actually thinking about it. I was hoping to fill in the dots later. And there's some more of them.
If I may, Lord Van Zeeks. It seems somewhat boorish to close down the debate at this point.
Your insignificant little Eastern Isle must be a lawless hole indeed. For a lowly judicial assistant to have the audacity to intervene at a moment like this.
Oh,
I am, to my shame, still a very inexperienced lawyer. So you have to forgive me, but I consider my assistant's advice essential and her opinions invaluable.
Onions? Invaluable?
I said it right, that's
Your
right.
voice disappeared for a second. I had your onions invaluable. Wait a second.
I started it a little, but I definitely said op. I just said opinions. It wouldn't be the first time I purposely mispronounced a word.
One of this land's great guiding principles is tolerance, so the court will hear you out, madam.
Go ahead, Mrs. Zato, please. Do my job for me.
She's not paid enough for this shit.
I mean, is he?
It's a matter close to my
Is
heart.
anyone here paid enough, honestly?
Is anyone here paid?
Very well.
Yeah.
Pray, what insight can you give us? What have you all overlooked in this matter that you see fit to pursue further?
Well, the court has been presented with new evidence, but only after the cross-examination finished.
I see. And you believe that this new evidence warrants further examination, do you?
Mr. Naruhodo, what do you think? It's just possible that this new evidence might be the decisive proof we've been waiting for. The judge is sure to ask the members of the jury to announce their leanings in a moment. And of course, he's sure to ask you to explain what the crucial piece of evidence is and why. So we must take this opportunity to examine the newly presented evidence as thoroughly as possible.
Yes, I understand. And thank you, Mrs. Zato. This is it. Satozone has managed to win us one last chance here. I can't let it go to waste. The defense wishes to present evidence, my lord! I'm sorry. That's the right way to do it.
Very well.
The defense may present one further piece of evidence. Evidence that apparently offers a profound insight to this case and has hitherto remained irrelevant.
Hitherto,
Hitherto.
she's not dead, so it doesn't count. I actually don't know what I'm looking for here. Oh, interesting.
Oh, look at this. The book has been badly burnt.
Ray Bradbury, where are you at?
No, I don't know anything. You're right. You'd never be able to read it this day, especially not the latter page. Oh wait, actually, I have this. Here he is.
Burnt at 451 degrees.
He's right here.
Wonderful. Brilliant.
Okay.
What a terrible waste. Judging from the scorched pieces of paper, I think the damage must have occurred very recently.
A book. Recently damaged by fire. Why does it seem to raise a red flag with me? Am I Murtagh? I know what's wrong with this.
It's a book entitled The Lion's Pride.
It's called The Lion's Pride, but the Brisbane Bears didn't change it to the Brisbane Lions until 1997. And they didn't have anything to be proud of until 2001. I'm afraid I don't know any English literature at all. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe it's talking about the British Lions and how they've won one World Cup. Checks maths 56 years ago. 57 years ago now, actually. Update. So it wouldn't be something I've heard. Wait a minute. The Lion's Pride? That's strange. I think I've heard of a book by that name before. Very recently, too. Damn, I wish I remember. I don't remember making any other Brisbane Lions or Three Lions jokes recently. It's
It's a
time.
title I recognize too. It's been never heard of.
Well,
Take that!
the evidence in question is what we can see from the newly presented photographic print of the crime scene. Let me have a close look at that, actually. It is burnt there, too. And it's very specifically that angle. The fourth book, found in the victim's hand.
We've already discussed the fourth book at length. Other than it being in the victim's grasp at the time of the incident, no significance has been attached to it. Pursuing the matter further would be a flagrant waste of the court's time, as you well know.
Ah! Damn, Band 6 is pissed.
Yes. I'm afraid, Counsel, I must concur with the prosecution on this matter. When I afforded you this opportunity, you led the court to believe that the evidence in question contained a hitherto undiscovered clue. So I must insist that you elaborate, Counsel. You will identify this clue at once. Do I make myself clear?
Oh, yes, my lord. It's,
Mr. Naruhodo, I think the prosecution is trying to avoid a thorough examination of the evidence. Which means you may very well be on the right track.
yes. I think you might be right.
So, Counsel, precisely where is the vital clue to this case, which this fourth book conceals?
Got it!
Got it! Did he always sound that British? I would ask the court to observe the back of this book in question. He's been in Britain for a while, I guess. Like, what, like, we got there, like, in December? Now it's March.
The back, what do you? Good gracious!
I never looked there!
It's been burnt to a crisp.
So we have to ask ourselves, why was the
Crispy
victim
book.
clutching what is clearly an unreadable book? It is undeniably an extremely unnatural thing for her to be doing. Oh yeah, the witnesses. So
Objection!
I love when they show like the panning shot back and he's still pointing. It's like the audience's view of this.
Unnatural, you say? And what of it, my Nipponese friend?
Oh,
We're to concede the point. If it bears no relation to the case, there is nothing to discuss. So, should you wish to assert that this fire damage is some veiled clue as to what happened that day? Pray, do enlighten us all. What truth does this charm book hide?
a charred book? There is just one possibility here, which I can't bring myself to rule out. He must be a fireman! It's an outside shot, certainly. Worth a try. Alright, I'll explain my theory.
Don't keep us waiting any longer, Council. Explain this theory of yours. What are you suggesting that you can ascertain from the fire damage the Storytome has suffered?
I feel like I need to read more about the fire. Is there anything that suggests that?
I wonder if the lady who poured tea on that guy is the person that we should put up. Maybe.
If the what?
The lady who keeps pouring tea on her husband.
What about it? What about it?
I just keep thinking that she mentioned something about fire, but it's been so long.
I mean, no, so there was like a fire in the corner of their... Oh! Were there books
Or-
there?
In their apartment, probably.
Is she the victim? No, that doesn't make any sense.
No.
My lord, the burn on the back of this book reveals startling truth about the book's owner.
I beg your pardon?
But we already know who the book belongs to. The victim was gripping it in her hand as she fell to the floor after all. It's obviously hers.
The question of how this book came to be in the victim's hand is yet to be answered. However, as to the questions of who the book really belongs to and where it originated, the defense has very credible answers.
Good gracious, how can you possibly?
Very well. I'll play along with this futile attempt to delay your inevitable demise. But do remember, the members of the jury may well burn you if your little gamble goes awry.
Counsel, the defense's response here is very likely to influence the final outcome of this trial. So tell the court, who do you think is the owner of this bird book?
Well, which one is it? I guess it'd be his, because she pretends to be the maid, and therefore she wouldn't be the owner.
Take that!
Music's still on.
No, it's not. The answer is that the book belongs to the couple who own the house where the defendant has his lodgings. A certain Mr. and Mrs. Daradeb. Okay, maybe it'll accept both.
The landlords!
Whether this is some extraordinary coincidence or some kind of fate at work, I don't know. But of all the people in London, one of the 6 chosen for jury duty in this courtroom today is is none other than Mrs. Garrett herself. So we really should scrap this whole thing and start again with an unrelated jury.
Oh my goodness me! I think you must be mistaken, sir. I'm...
There is so much wrong with this. Line.
I'm not Mr. Garrett's wife. I'm his maid.
Things would be so much easier if you would just drop the pretense. Alright then, how about a simple question for you? Have you ever seen this book in Mr. Garrett's house?
I would never presume to know all the books he keeps, sir.
Objection!
This is outlandish behavior. This woman is accused of landlady, you say? You implicit the hard-working member of the public. You just smirch her without a shred of evidence. Your actions are unforgivable.
Objection!
This is not mere conjecture. The defense happens to know that on the day in question, at almost exactly the same time as the victim was stabbed on the pavement below, another incident was taking place in the room on the top floor in Mr. and Mrs. Garrett's house. Oh shit, was it the same time? I don't remember. I guess so. Line.
Good lord, what sort of incident, counsel?
A fire. See, look, see that fire in the back? Oh, what the hell was this guy's voice?
Fair to say it was. Happened in the blink of an eye, you know. The whole place filled with smoke. Couldn't see a bally thing. Didn't take long for the fire to spread, of course. The bally furniture started going up as well. Worst of it is, I lost my favourite coat, the Lion's Pride. The Lion's Pride?
By Jove, the very same title. That's the subject of the debate.
Can't tell what your comments are referring to.
Oh, when he was talking about how something was happening the same floor above, or something like that. Don't you worry.
Oh dear me!
I get it!
Objection!
I'm not slow.
This is risible! All you've told the court is that a book by the same name was involved in a fire. In which case it would be reasonable to assume that it was burnt to ashes. And entirely unreasonable to infer that it magically removed itself to the scene of the crime.
Perhaps it would be fake forces if I told you the cause of the fire was marital discord? Without going into details, it appears that Mrs. Garrett was considerably enraged.
Ah, but discord hasn't been invented yet.
Apparently, she continued to
Shut
attack
up.
Mrs. Garrett, even amid the flames.
Jesus Christ. Took me a hot second.
Oh, how awful! Can't even imagine being a horror to the one we love. Can you, Roy?
Absolutely not, sir. My Patricia would never raise a finger against me, sir.
Notice how much more awake I got when he stopped talking?
Had all my favourite old novels in that case. But as soon as the fire got home, that was it. Whoosh! Up in smoke. Then the wife started hurling things at me. There I was, back up against the window, under heavy enemy fire. Incendiary books covered 10 to the dozen. What?
The man has his back up against the window, and yet burning books thrown at him.
Oh, what was he doing there?
Goodness gracious. Are you suggesting? The book was thrown through a window and coincidentally landed at the scene of the crime.
Objection!
She did not die instantly.
No! A thorough investigation of the surrounding area was conducted at the very evening of the incident. There was no report of the garden's window pane being broken.
That's quite true. Because I saw no sign of broken glass when we visited the Garrett house. But it's not. Is it inconceivable that the window was open at the time?
Not even remotely! It's inconceivable! Let us not forget the season, the chilly weather that accompanies it. No Londoner would ever leave a window open in the middle of winter.
Ah! Oh, I can hear myself, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Brilliant.
Which means everyone who is definitely watching the stream can hear me twice.
As the defense postulate the scenario in all seriousness, counsel, do you earnestly claim that the book found at the scene was a flaming projectile thrown at Mr. Garrett of White? Isn't
I
that
believe.
also assault?
What?
Isn't that also assault?
From who to who?
Throwing flaming books
Oh,
at
maybe.
someone.
Maybe you're just trying to put it out. I believe it's a possibility, my lord. That's back. Who knows that?
Well, I hope that everyone can see you for what you are and what you are now, you little foreign trickster.
I hate my voice line.
You call yourself a lawyer, but you're just a coward. A mean coward.
Well, I'm pretending I don't have just like two versions of British voice. Really?
Claiming that all little tricks that the whole neighborhood are like. Honestly.
Hey Valdex! Yes! I usually don't stream very much in the summer because the weather sucks and I'm always busy. But hi! Getting through it.
Implying that I'm merely posing as a maid for appearance's sake. How could you? Hi, Valdex. Nothing to do with this beastly case. None, not any of it. All you've done is sully your family's name.
No, I assure you that was never my intention.
Dragging an upstanding citizen's name through the mud, simply to divert attention from your failing defense.
Did you just slap him?
Yeah. If it box your ears, that's what I should do. It's utterly unforgivable.
Too right!
Here we go.
How long have we sat here now, listening to this Nepalese spouting out his fancy foreign theories? But, think about it. At the end of the day, the only person who could have possibly have stabbed the victim is that little hunchback with a moustache, and he ran away from the scene too!
I do declare you're right.
It's true, it is.
Yes. What did I tell you?
Makes sense to me!
So, what's that? Oh, he just like me for real, for real.
Well,
Of. Should I know who that person is? I don't. But I feel like they're judging me.
Oh my goodness, what is that? It would appear that the ladies and gentlemen of the jury are once again in full agreement. What is your position, Lord Van Zeeks?
In truth, my lord, I feel these have been unnecessarily protracted proceedings.
I agree!
Then, we must always exercise patience in order to savor the best vintage.
Oh. He's a fan of Columbo Season 3, Any Old Port in a Storm. Or is that Season 4? It's one of those two. No, wait! The mystery of the fourth book hasn't been... Oh, excuse me. No, you can't see my shoe on screen. And better for that.
If books are your predilection, my learned friend, study them on your own time.
No, forgive the discourtesy this time?
In that case, ladies and gentlemen of the jury,
Wait, no, yeah, my camera doesn't point low enough.
you will now state your individual decisions regarding the defendant's culpability for the court here.
Guilty!
Guilty. Guilty.
Guilty.
Guilty.
He sounds
Guilty.
much more, like, gentlemanly. The one with the facial hair. I've just been like, oh, this guy looks like a British dude.
Thank you for that unambiguous response.
That's twice now. It's over. That's okay. You can't be put in double jeopardy, where the point values are double and there's two daily doubles. Oh, wait, who's saying that?
It's the Naruhodo. Don't give up.
Probably, yeah. Mrs. Suzato? Now, Valid, when you say he's one of the good Dota dudes, do you mean he's good at Dota? Do you mean he's a good person who plays good Dota, unlike most Dota players? Or he's someone who plays Dota and he's good to watch? Or all of the above? Like,
The battle isn't over yet.
you're not suggesting.
Of course, the defense has the right to another summation examination at this point. You can still convince the jurors to change their minds. You could.
I thought you clicked, and I was like,
Lord, the defense asks to exercise its right to a summation examination. I can hear myself again.
I don't know what to do about it.
Is it
I'm
because
sorry.
I'm too loud?
I don't think so.
I believe
Think
you
my
still have
headset is
tricks up your
strange.
sleeve.
I don't intend to trick anyone. I intend to uncover the truth. I'll pretend I also understand all that, Balog, although like I begrudgingly know too much about League of Legends, and that's enough moments for my lifetime. This is no time to be downcast. As long as there's a chance, I have to stay strong and determined.
You're filled with determination.
To be con. Under my head, it says continued.
Brilliant.
I think Trick in League of Legends is all about team comp and also yelling at your teammates when they muck up. And I don't know. Oh, this would have been a great spot to stop yesterday. Oh, last time stream actually.
Yesterday?
No, I mean it could have been yesterday, but it wasn't. Alright. What else we got here? Because I'm not done yet! A proper stream!
I have considered the defense counsel's request for a further summation and examination of the jury. And I have determined that the court must uphold the defense's judicial right to this procedure. So, counsel, you will now proceed with your second summation examination. I presume the jury is ready. Mr. Foreman.
We are, my lord! Why can't I just read the entire game in that
Very
guy's
good.
voice? It's just fun.
In that case, I must ask each of you now to state clearly and concisely for the court the grounds on which you find the defendant guilty of this crime.
The accused left behind evidence at the scene, didn't he? Those 3 booksayers.
If there was some novel alternative explanation about how the victim was stabbed, I might reconsider.
He was stabbed by the books, that's a novel. Even if the woman was throwing books, it can't be related to the crime if the window was closed, can it?
Is that pun intended?
Dearie me, it's only a little book. Hardly life-threatening, even if a direct hit.
Look, I just want to get this over with. If I don't bring home some pay tonight, I'll be in a tiny bit of trouble.
Come to think, we had a fire at home a while ago. It gave me the sneezes.
Wait, why does he... What are the odds that 2 people have fires in their homes? Clearly someone's doing something wrong with the housing.
I mean, it is London. Like, they're famous for big fires.
I see.
1666.
Yes. Considerably more tangible arguments from all members of the jury this time round, I guess. It seems. With one notable exception, of course. The guy who just wants to go home.
My learned student friend was unable to find fault in the previous witness testimony. So the court must accept the fact that it was indeed the accused seen fleeing from the scene. And moreover,
That could start a fire.
Yeah.
no one else was even at the scene to commit the crime.
Well, if the eyewitnesses are correct, it would seem as if the conclusion is somewhat set in stone. I fail to see how it can be argued any other way.
That means, I'm afraid, that during the summation examination, it is essential that you establish some tangible explanation for the facts.
How? What would even constitute a tangible explanation?
Isn't it obvious?
Oh.
Who stabbed the woman now? Those 2 details are all you need to provide. Simply give us a name and a method by which the attack was conducted.
There I was thinking this might be hard.
But Mr. Naruhodo, you have to do it. Otherwise, this really will be where the trial ends.
Ugh. No pressure then.
That's quite enough preamble. Proceed with the summation examination, please. I presume you are prepared, counsel?
Oh, yes, my lord. Alright, Ryunosuke, focus your mind now. Clearly, the key to the summation examination is going to be juror number 4, the maid. Or should I say, Mrs. Garrett. We have a book that disappeared from the Garrett house on the evening of the incident. Oh, sorry, that was your line.
And the fourth book found in the victim's hand.
There must be a way to link the two. Yes. That's what we have to find. Using every technique I've learned in my short career so far. Whatever it takes.
Don't forget to keep an eye on Mrs. Garridem and how she reacts, even to the things other people say.
Love it when games tell you exactly what you need to do.
Honestly, just like streamline. Turn Ace Attorney into Press A simulator. He's left Sermons and seen, didn't he? Those 3 books of his.
Hold it!
But as we now know, there were 4 books, not 3.
Well, what difference does it make?
There's every possibility that the 4th book, in fact, belongs to the defendant's landlord.
Yes? Well, that's the part I have a problem with.
Sorry?
Well, at the point the woman was stabbed, this landlord fellow was at home, wasn't he? Enjoying a fiery scrap with a wife or something, you said?
That's not exactly how I put it, no. If only someone would clarify. Someone who was there at the time.
Well, anyway, the point is the fellow and his wife was somewhere else when it happened.
I think that's what you call a strong alibi.
So it couldn't have been the landlord who did it, which only leaves the Nipmanese fella. Honestly, I can't see what this palaver's about. It's a done deal, innit?
I suppose it is, since I've nothing witty left to say. So no more alternative explanation about the victim's going to be considered.
Hold it!
So, you might be willing to change your decision with me.
Oh my, such delight on your face. But I'm afraid I shan't be swayed by emotion. Despite what you may think of me, I'm a very modern, metropolitan, and rational woman.
That's great. He does not care.
I mean, should he?
No, not really.
If one reads the morning papers, it's all forgotten by tea time, isn't it? So why read them in the first place? You see, modern, metropolitan, and rational thinking, wouldn't you say?
And not at all extreme. I don't know, she's not reading British newspapers, that sounds like a good one.
She's not reading newspapers? That is a good thing.
British
Exactly.
newspapers especially.
An overwhelmingly suspicious Japanese man has been implicated by overwhelmingly strong testimony.
Look, it's still better than Singapore newspapers.
Is it?
You do not want to read Singapore newspapers.
I
I feel like
don't-
there are better things to do. with
I just
life.
don't know if you know the extent to which British tabloids are like trash.
I don't read tabloids.
It's the same thing.
Why would you read tabloids?
It's the same thing. Anyway.
So despite one or two minor puzzlements, I do declare that the man is overwhelmingly guilty.
Modern, metropolitan, and shut the fuck up, wouldn't you say?
Something like easy breezy classy cover girl. What is it? I don't know. Overwhelming.
But us modern gals are always delighted to embrace new fans, you know. So I'd only be too happy to consider an exciting new theory if you could come up with one.
I'd be happy to do that too, if only I could.
Let's do our very best not to disappoint the modern and metropolitan young lady.
Or disappoint her. She doesn't care.
Right. I'm glad you omitted ration. Even if the woman is throwing books, it can't be related to this crime. The window was closed, can it?
Hold it!
But what about the possibility the window was open? What about it? I mean, there's just no way it could have been. Can you be so sure? The prosecutor fellow over there said it earlier, didn't he? Windows in London are no joke. You don't want to invite that sort of cold indoors. So no, that window wasn't open. Us Londoners like sitting by the fire and staying warm, see? You couldn't categorically state that the window wasn't open, could you? It just wasn't. They wouldn't open it. What's the point of even having windows, huh?
Consul, you will kindly refrain from childish bickering.
Sorry. Somehow I need to show
You
this
do have a point.
undeniable possibility the window was open. Because this young man isn't going to budge up this. Dear me, it's only a little book, hardly life for an evil director.
Hold it!
But the little book was on fire at the time, was it not?
The flames of love, I'll have you know.
There's really no such thing as a loving incendiary one.
Well, he brought it upon himself. Displaying the fire to betray a fiery love.
I cannot remember what her voice is at this point.
It's alright. I'm just making them all up every time.
Don't you agree?
Oh, well, any kind of betrayal is certainly a bad thing, yes. But I think the argument might have arisen out of your misunderstanding, Mrs. Garrett.
Never you mind that. The point is, you were just having a jovial little dispute, nothing more. And I won't have any more of these suggestions that it was anything whatsoever to do with this crime.
Alright, well, we'll see about that.
Just quit your job, right? You're not
But
okay. Just
What
quit
about
your job.
juror number 5? He doesn't seem to be turning a hair at Mrs. Garrett's relentless onslaughts. Wait,
Almost
no.
as if he's used to this.
No, 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 no. It doesn't look anything like him.
Did you just think that he was her husband?
I had to consider it the way that's going. I just want to get this over with. If I don't bring home some pay, then I'll be a tiny bit of trouble.
Hold it!
You just want to get this over with? You're like that the juror in 12 Angry Men who only wants to watch the football. How can you sit there and say something like that? A man's future is at stake here. Well, him and me both, like I said before. What? I told you already, I'm a day labourer, aren't I? If I don't bring home some Reddies with me tonight, you'll find me floating face down in the Thames tomorrow morning. What? You know me? My missus isn't one to mess about. You know, she can be fierce, believe you me. I'm a shining example of marital bliss. a situation like this cropped up the other day. It was, well, you know, it was funny. I can't quite remember. Sorry. It was too frightening, that's the thing. I must have blocked it out.
Scarred for life.
I,
Sounds like a totally not dysfunctional relationship.
I wonder if Mr. Beast will ever be dragged into the flames by a scarf.
don't even go there, Mrs. Zato. There must be some way to jog his memory about this. Don't think of it, we had a fire at home a while ago. It gave me the sneezes.
Hold it!
Does it have anything to do with your decision about the defendant's culpability in this case? Sorry, what's that? You'll have to speak up, lad! Could you tell us more about that fire? This last winter, my grandchildren baked me a lovely cake on my birthday. I had 75 candles on the top, it did. What a sight to behold it was.
75? Jesus.
Candles? On a cake? Is it some kind of devil worship? Of course not, it was an angel cake. Celebrating my birthday, obviously.
Seems it's a common custom here in Great Britain, Mr. Naruhodo.
Anyway, I mustered all my puff to blow them out. Only I must have blown wrong somehow. The flames didn't go out, but the candles went flying all over the room. The furniture
My
caught.
colleague recently found out that apparently when you have a birthday cake, right, and then you have candles on top, you're supposed to blow out the candles first and then make a wish. Because apparently she's been making a wish and then blowing out the candles. Oh wait, sorry. She's been blowing out the candles first, then making a wish.
Who's
Like,
she?
people usually make. My colleague. My colleague. And she was like, I've been doing this wrong all my life.
Wait, you changed it up, so which one is she doing?
I think generally it's supposed to be you make a wish first, then you blow the candles out, right? She did the opposite. She blew the candles out and she made a wish.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it's like you make a wish, then you blow, and if you can get all the candles out in a single blow, then it comes true.
Yeah, exactly. She's like, oh, we've been doing it wrong all along.
No wonder all the wishes weren't coming true.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely sounds like devil worship to me. And by the sneezes, I presume you mean a cold. But how did you catch a cold from a fire? Oh, a fiasco it was. The grandchildren threw water over me as they tried to put out the flames. Then, because the whole room had filled up with smoke, of course, we had to open all the windows to clear it. Curious. The windows. Biting winter air rushed over me like a devil dancing on my grave it did. Caught a terrible cold. Put me in a sleep in the hospital for a week. I won't forget that birthday in a hurry. I knew it was devil worship all along. Something about this old man's story is playing on my mind for some reason.
We need to demonstrate who, apart from Mr. Natsume, could have attacked the young woman on the street. As well as how he or she could have done it.
Yes, but once again, the jurors' statements are full of personal prejudice. Never. All of them seem convinced they're right, even in the face of logical arguments to the contrary. It's just like real life.
I think you're going to need to pit them against each other to force them to accept an alternative explanation.
Yes. I don't necessarily need to find contradictions between their assertions, just a connection might do the trick. Alright, I'll see what I can do, but if it stands out, I'll go for this.
Objection!
These two juror statements clearly contradict one another, even though I said I wasn't looking for a contradiction, just in connection. Line.
They do? How exactly, counsel?
Don't put at me again! I told you it wasn't me! What's that you say? Speak up, lads, speak up. Juror number 3, don't you see? Oh, me? See what, sir? Oh, come on, you could have rhymed all 4 lines. Did you hear juror number 6's account of his birthday celebrations last year? Seems despite being a Londoner, he once opened his windows in the middle of winter. Well, yes, of course, because it was an emergency. I mean, obviously, if the room was filled with smoke from a fire, then you would be mad not to open the. I'm an idiot, aren't I? Oh! Exactly. Like, cogs turning. On the day in question, at the time of the incident, there was a fire in the Garradev household. And Mr. Garradev had the following to say about it. The whole place filled up with smoke.
Oh my.
Oh my hat!
Excuse me.
She's drinking so much tea.
'Tis the tease.
Oh, sorry. Juror number 4, do you have anything to say? To that, do you have anything to say that is more?
And you should go to the bathroom. It's too much tea.
I can't tell if you're saying that you need to take a break.
No, that's her because she. Yeah.
Just making sure. Mrs. Garrett.
Oh dearie me! What's the meaning of this? How dare you imply that I'm hiding who I really am?
It's imperative that you confirm something for the court. So please, it's time you drop the pretense now.
What is it?
When the fire started in your house that day, did you or your husband open the window?
I beg your pardon? What are you insinuating?
The room would have been thick with smoke after the carpet and bookcase caught fire as they did. In a situation like that, it's inconceivable that you wouldn't have opened the window.
And what if we did? Oh, all right then. Yes, you're right. My husband was frantically trying to open the window, which can't have been easy. So continue to give him a justly deserved book battering.
Even though your house was on fire?
Oh, you never stop throwing until the anger subsides. It would be terribly bad for the nerves to do otherwise.
Of course, I should have
I
realized.
believe that's called abuse.
I think it's the lyrics to Kiss with a Fist by Florence and the Machine.
It's a significant step forward, Mr. Naruhodo. You've managed to establish that the window is open. We simply must have that added to Mrs. Garradev's formal statement.
Oh, no, he's saying yes. Damn it. But wait, this is supposed to be this is a statement for why they're guilty.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Hold it!
The fourth book found at the scene of the crime shows very obvious signs of fire damage. And the title of the book is The Lion's Pride. The same title, in fact, as the book that Mr. Garrett had told us he'd been reading.
Well, I really couldn't say.
Did you stop denying? Mate,
What?
she needs to stop denying.
On the day in question, did you or did you not throw at your husband the copy of The Lion's Pride that he had been reading?
I did. But so what? It was the first thing I could lay my hands on, so I hurled it straight at him. And now you come to mention it, yes.
It was on fire, yes.
He's rather enjoying reading it, you're right.
Why did you not reveal this information to the court from the outset? I didn't think it mattered. This. Oh man.
Because I couldn't, you insolent little man. I didn't remember. Times like that, you pick up and throw whatever you can lay your hands on, as you well know.
I really don't.
Oh boy.
I barely noticed I was throwing a book, much less the title of it.
Excuse me.
What is it? Juror number 5? You know something? I've remembered what it was. The memory I blocked out. Ah. It was listening to what this granny was saying. Brought all flooding back.
Who are you calling a granny, you cheeky devil? I'm Mrs. Garrett, I bought the maid, I'll have you know.
Oh, now she's confessing.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. The man didn't even flinch. Please tell me that's not because he's so used to being hit all the time. It was about 2 weeks ago now. I just gotten back home after work. Like, this is gonna be like Seven's backstory in 999.
It's gonna be a long one.
This is the short version, he says. I put my hand in my pocket for the wages I just can't earn that day, and I nearly died. There was a hole. Every last penny had dropped out. Oh dear. What is that? You haven't heard the half of it, boy. Oh? The wife was cutting up some chicken at the time. I couldn't hardly let the words out. But I told her straight. I lost the day's wages, love. Next thing I knew, the bay was thicker than hurtling past my ear. It was whistling past my ear. Stuck onto the wall next to me, it did. About an inch deep. No, it's just terror. I could smell it, you know, that god-awful stench of the Thames. But I sure I was going to end up face down in the muddy banks that night, I can tell you. Now, that's a real disaster, isn't it? I'll never use the word lightly again. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make here is... when women lose their rag, they'll throw anything at you. Knives, hatchets, sabbers, you name it.
Mr. Naruhodo, you mustn't think that all women are so short-tempered and unrefined.
No, I wasn't thinking that.
3 household objects at people. Well, it's so uncivilized.
They're environmental rocks. At least attack with honor, using a bow that Jesus Christ. Never mind.
What? Attack? Who are you going to attack?
Throw back to the Susato takedown. Never mind. Anyway, this man's birth would be rather significant, I think.
Alright, we'll come back to the bow and arrow thing later, if I dare.
Objection!
Those two statements clearly have a deep, significant connection.
Good grief. You mean they don't contradict each other? Explain, Counsel, at once.
Jury number 2. Do you think perhaps this could be one such novel alternative?
Oh my, whatever do you mean?
An alternative explanation as to how the victim was stabbed in the back. What are you talking about? We demonstrated that the fourth book, The Lion's Pride, was found at the scene of the crime. Originated in Mrs. Garrett's room on the top floor of the house. But therefore it's equally possible that some other object, besides the could have found its way from the Garrett household to the street below. What's this now? After all, Mrs. Garrett could have thrown any number of different objects at her husband. Isn't that right, Jury?
What are you insinuating now, you little beanpole?
I'm beginning to think that ever since the true origins of the book came to light, perhaps she's had a feeling this might be what happened. Now you listen here, you English galah. As the foreman of this jury, I demand a straight answer. You give us this yarn about some other object making its way out of the house, but what? What was it? Yeah, taking a big gamble here. That was a bold accusation, but I haven't any real
I'll be
evidence
right back, real quick.
to back it up. But I'm certain that at the very least this warrants further investigation. Alright, Mr. Foreman, I'll try to explain the defense's theory. The other object that found its way from the Garrett household at the scene of the crime was...
Take that!
Jury number 4. Mrs. Garrett. Oh, I need to stretch again, I guess. I'm so worn out. How on earth did I stream so much 428 Shibuya Scramble?
Mainly because you did it alone and you just breezed through it faster, maybe? I don't know. But this one's a bit draggy.
I don't know. It makes no sense.
What now?
I must apologize in advance for this. But I need you to confirm something else for the court. This knife. Ever seen this knife before?
Sorry. Not helping.
Oh,
Good lord, Counsel. What on earth are you doing? That's the weapon that was launched into the victim's back, man.
My lord, remember that when the victim was attacked, Mr. and Mrs. Garrett were in the throes of an argument. Mrs. Garrett was hurling anything she could at her husband, who'd been backed up against the window. The window had been opened to clear the smoke, and through which a book sailed to land at the crime scene. Damn, we could have had a different murder. You can't seriously believe that! The book was found in the victim's grasp! Are you saying it flew out the window and across the street to land neatly in her hand? Damn, this is like a big top turnabout, this is! Oh, even my missus hasn't got a name like that. Yes, I admit, there are many details we don't yet understand. But that's the point. That's precisely why we must not allow this trial to end. Not right now.
Oh my! Goodness gracious.
Oh, I finally heard something. Mrs. Garrett, your answer, please. Have you seen this knife before or not?
Oh! I threw it out of my husband. Ah! Or something. Oh, nice. Well, she has an excuse to not speak. Wonderful.
And now they can get a new unbiased juror who didn't possibly do the murder. I mean, not murder. It's not a murder. My lord.
I wish to change my decision. I'm a woman of my word, after all.
Thank you, madam. Oh, I heard myself hardcore there. Yes, I agree. I certainly didn't see this coming, but I just don't think it would be right for this trial to come to an end right now with so many unanswered questions. Mr. Foreman. I'd have to agree. Oh, don't make them speak back to back, then you realise I'm using the same voice. Now that I think the granny... Not that I think the granny did it, mind. Yes, you know what, I'm not quite happy about this moment either. All together now, ladies and gents. Okay, what about number 6? Did he just not hear the evidence?
Did they just like agree that the guy is not guilty just because the lady fainted?
I don't know what the turning point is, but we did it.
Oh, congratulations, Mr. Marlowe.
So, as a result of the defense's summation examination, a number of jurors' leanings have changed. 2 jurors called guilty, against 4 now falling innocent. Accordingly, the opinion of this court is divided. And this trial will continue. Now then, Lord Van Zieks, how does the prosecution wish to proceed?
This trial is rapidly descending into a farce!
Oh, you've just realised this.
Like a corked wine, the first few sips are bitter enough.
Stop doing that.
But what follows is so repugnant, it's good for nothing save the gutter.
If I may, Lord Van Zieks, the defence has just put forward a credible alternative explanation of what happened.
Credible? Is that your considered opinion, Mr. Foreman? The defense's argument is a joke to which I barely know how to respond, but let me start by insisting that you must offer me yourself with the relative position of those places being discussed.
What do you mean by that? What's his angle this time?
It should already be more than apparent that between the crime scene and the Carradine household runs a rather wide street, Briar Road. Which means the distance from the Carradine's house to the scene is some, 13.5 meters.
Did you really? No.
It's not that hard.
13 yards. That's around 14 meters.
14 meters. Oh, that's a little farther than I imagined. It's okay. It's a little less than 40. She rounded up.
And as you ladies and gentlemen, the jury rightly noted as having important significance, the fourth book was found in the victim's clutches. In other words, a smouldering book, wantonly hurled by the lady of the house, travelled some 15 yards to land the opposite side of the road, neatly between the collapsed victim's fingers and thumb. Make that make sense. Is that your final conclusion, my learned and deluded friend? And did the jackknife follow a near identical trajectory to plunge into the middle of the victim's back? This fantasy is somewhat stretching the notion of having a bad day for the victim, I think. Even those pathetic, serialized detective stories have more believable plots.
What did she roll a natural 1?
Yeah, she rolled a nat 1, someone rolled a nat 20. Both have to, you know, meet at some point.
There's nothing I can say to that.
The prosecutor loves the sound of his own voice.
Also, like, oh, Van Zeeks would love Big Top Turnabout. It's the case where someone gets hit by a bus that's falling down, and then like the coat they're wearing falls neatly onto the bus, so that and then when they lift the bus up, it looks like someone else killed them.
Brilliant.
Yep. That's not even the dumbest thing about that case. But we didn't talk about that. Mrs. Adams.
Serialized detective stories are pathetic, aren't they? How dare he?
Wait. Do you think all the cases the prosecutors have off screen are just benign? It's only when the protagonist gets involved that things go haywire. Maybe let's pick our battles here.
My lord, might I be allowed to speak?
Also, hi, Damson.
As judicial assistant, you will speak for the defense, yes. Go ahead.
The prosecution may consider the idea fantasy. But what the defense has postulated was believable enough to persuade the jury to change its leaning. And as such, the court has a duty to explore this alternative explanation as thoroughly as possible. To that end, juror number 4, Mrs. Joan Garda, has been called to testify and subject to cross-examination. Saints alive! A cross-examination of a juror.
It's okay, she's not gonna vote herself guilty, right? Oh, that's a lot of orders.
Order! 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 Oh, this is highly irregular. It is unprecedented for a member of the jury to be summoned to the witness stand.
Objection!
And unnecessary, just like me doing that.
Lord Van Zeeks?
There are already witnesses in the stand whose testimony the defense may further cross-examine. If my learned friend's farcical theory has any truth in it, then both a burning book and a jackknife must have flown through the sky before this couple's eyes. And we must assume they will be able to testify accordingly.
Hmm.
Hey, Vagabond. Well, apparently you can't hear me.
What say you, witnesses?
Oh, right. So I never officially stopped streaming it. I just took a break over the summer because I usually don't stream over the summer because the weather sucks and I'm usually busy. But now we're out of that. I'm wearing a jumper again and all is well. Yes, sir! Constable Raleigh Bate reporting for duty, sir!
Good morning, officer.
Sorry for dozing off till now, sir. I haven't slept for a month on account of a villain who's appeared on my beat, sir.
Ah, they're so heroic, these London bobbies.
Oh, Patricia, my darling, I've been neglecting you, but no more. I really did forget these two in the room.
Rolly, my hero, you make me swoon! Very well, I hereby reject the defense request. Oh. In order the witnesses on the stand to testify again. State forthwith, before the court any... State forthwith before the court any details pertaining to the defense. Alternative explanation of events. Shut up.
Got it! Yes, sir! Oh, I'm awake again.
It gave me so much pain.
This case has nothing to do with Mr. and Mrs. Garrett. Believe me, a London Bobby is good for his word. You see, sir, the windows on the top floor of the Garrett houses are top hinge casements.
Obviously, if anything had been thrown out the window, we would have seen it. I did leave the scene to go and fetch help, but my trusty of Rowley was there to make sure nothing was disturbed.
I didn't take my eye off the crime scene for 1 second, sir. Nothing strange to report on that front, sir.
Well, this is quite startling. Top hinged casement windows. There's some fancy ass windows.
That detail was not in the police report, Constable.
He's one to talk. He's the one to fucking talk.
Oh, only I am allowed to omit details until they matter.
Oh, yes, sorry about that. I must have been a little drowsy,
You cannot excuse your sins with drowsiness every time, Constable!
No, sir! Sorry, but... What exactly is a top hinge casement window? I know I've literally been in the building, but, you know, it was months ago.
And you cannot excuse your ignorance with such trite remarks, my learned friend!
Of course. Sorry.
I found it, Mr. Naruhodo. My dignity. Or something. Cast your mind back to the windows in Mr. and Mrs. Garadev's room.
Ah, a flashback. That explains it. Alright, I'll try. I'll just remember what they look like.
So the window opens in order to allow air to circulate inside the home.
Oh.
But as the top hinged casement window, it swings open along the upper edge, you see.
I'm glad you've rectified your ignorance. A casement window's most prominent feature is its stay. A metal bar which prevents the window from being opened beyond a certain point.
It prevents opening? This is all news to me.
Absolutely correct, sir. In other words, if a book or knife were to have been thrown through this open window, it would have clattered against the pane and fallen straight down to the pavement below.
I don't know, there's an opening in the corner. No.
You see the problem? Good. Your education in Windows is complete. Now, you see there was no defenestration.
Which is basically what he just said.
That is, unless the window pane had been shattered, something we've discounted already.
That can't.
Did you see that, Broly? That young Japanese man just collapsed in agony.
Oh, we're acknowledging it. Oh yes, my darling, I saw it. I saw how he crumbled before me. Wait, what the hell did I turn his voice into?
Oh, Broly, you're so strong!
I hate this couple so much. Why are we voicing this?
How could this happen to me? I haven't even started the cross-examination yet, and already my argument's been destroyed.
Counsel, if you can drag yourself upright again, the court awaits your cross-examination. He's being mean now. He's just given up.
My lord. Good. Oh, good. Another desperate situation. Oh, I see. In this case, it's nothing to do with Mr. and Mrs. Garrett. I believe me, a lot of books.
Hold it!
How can you say that for certain? Very good question, sir. And the answer is this. It has the noble founding principles of the force written on it as a reminder to all us policemen of our sworn duty.
He showed us that before, didn't he?
Did he? Can't say I remember. To patrol the streets of London town and uphold the peace of the common man is what the job's all about. See? And that is why I can stand here beside my long-suffering wife and tell you a Bobby's good for his word. While rubbing my tired eyes admittedly. Sir!
Oh, Broly, you're so manly!
Of course I am, my darling Patricia! Oh, Pat!
Oh, Broly!
Somebody please end this.
No, none of this is what I meant. I meant, how could you say for certain this case has nothing to do with Mr. and Mrs. Garrett? Ah, I see, sir. You should have said so earlier, sir. I did, sir. Yes, well. So, could you answer the question? That was a waste of time then. Absolutely, sir. I'll answer it to the fullest of my ability, sir. This is me answering the question that you asked, sir. There's a surprising reason why Mr. and Mrs. Garrett's domestic dispute can't be the right of this case, sir. And I'll explain the reason round, sir, in case you want me to answer that, sir. But before I get into this, sir, just one more thing, sir. Do you remember the time when I... Yes.
You're alright over there.
I very much like you, all your countrymen, to understand the great British institution of Scotland Yard. So I hope you take back some of the tales of us London bobbies on how we uphold our guiding principles.
Which they have none.
I wasn't planning on going back just yet. I've only just arrived here. So to that end, sir, I'd be happy to lend you my warrant card for your perusal, sir. And I still haven't explained my reasoning, sir. But I must warn you, you won't be able to get through it without shedding a few tears. I'll try. Let's move means warrant card has entered the chat. Sorry.
Dora for a second, like, hold up, what?
A small folding wallet that identifies London Bobbies and contains the rules of conduct which they must adhere. Why is that? Item number 1. A policeman must strive to preserve the peace within his allotted beat. Item number 2. A patrolling officer is expected to walk 20 miles around his beat every day for purposes of community. It's very specific. I will walk 10 miles and I will walk 10 more. Item number 1. Any items fall under the jurisdiction of the beat in which they are discovered. Item 2. When a crime is discovered on his beat, a policeman must assist with initial investigations and help detectives. Don't see anything notable there yet.
Hold it!
By which you mean they don't open fully, is that correct? Yes, sir! They're just there to allow a bit of air into the house, see? So they're restricted to how much they open. How do they get fire out then? Or smoke, if the smoke just rises?
They don't.
Therefore, anything thrown out the windows from inside the room, simply strike the pane and fall to the street directly below. For clarity, allow me to mark the map. Here is the location where objects would have fallen.
I didn't realize it immediately, but like my Van Zeek's mad voice is very reminiscent of the Silk Song updates guy who had a very angry video he posted a couple weeks ago. Just like out of character. Line. Judge. Judge.
Sorry, I accidentally muted myself because I'm British. Yes, directly opposite the scene of the crime. The other side.
Great first line, Melandor. Welcome. Literally your first line. How are you, Melandor? Been so hard for somebody to mention this top hinge casement thing before. Well, I have another question for you, Constable. And what will that be, sir? How do you even know? Why would you have any idea what sort of window Mr. and Mrs. Garrett's house is furnished with? Well, sir, that's very simple. You say, I helped with the investigation yesterday. Oh.
Excuse me.
Do you have something to add, Mrs. Beat?
Sorry?
You look, well, delighted. Is there some particular reason for that? When that happens, Melandor, just blame, like, stream lag.
Oh, I was just remembering, that's all. We really were so lucky.
Lucky? You mean?
Well, of course I feel terrible for the poor woman who was attacked. Don't misunderstand me, please.
But like Bono says in that song, thank God it's them and not us.
We were just so lucky it didn't happen on the Summer's Beach. It was so close, you see.
Oh, I hadn't
Wait.
realized.
They look really similar. Like, they have, like, really similar eyes and they have similar hair.
The freckles as
Anyway.
well.
Yeah, anyway.
Oh yes, that's sweet.
I don't know if I can turn Effie up, unfortunately.
What's the boundary between Rolling Speed and our next one?
I can turn the game down a touch, and that might make her stand out a bit more. There we go.
right, fellas.
I think though, to be fair, that she's just like gagging at having to read this dialogue. And not giving it a roll because of that. Constable Beat. I thought he was awake again. Oh yes, that's
You got
right.
wrong.
That's the reason I was helping out with interviewing the occupants of the Garrett household yesterday. Their house is on my beat, you see, sir? It really was cutting it close then.
Constable, I wonder if you could clarify something. If the Garrett household's in your beat, does that mean that the pavement next to it is as well?
What if it wasn't?
Sorry.
Outside Mr. Garrett's house? Yes, ma'am. The pavement on the side of that road, on that side of the road, is part of my beat. What about the other side? See,
It's selective. It's selective patrolling.
I was unaware of that.
Just think, if the woman had been attacked just on the other side of Brown.
Wait a minute, wait a minute. What do they mean by the other side of the road?
The other side.
It is the other side of the road. Can I get a map of your beat? I want to see how you route phase 3.
It would never have been able to go to that meal to celebrate our wedding anniversary. But that's the life of a Bobby after all.
Extraordinary people are bobbies, tirelessly working for the benefit of all in the news.
Do you know what I think? I think it was the good Lord's way of rewarding my Rolly for all his hard work. Don't you think so, my darling?
That must be it, Pat, my love. That must be it. You okay there? There can't be that much more of it, right? I think perhaps we should make sure we have that information officially on record. You just slapped that book.
Yeah, slap it like you mean it. Slap the book. Leave it to me, Mr. Naruhodo. I'll take care of it immediately.
Oh, I know. No, the game never ends, Melendor, but eventually the witnesses go away. The pavement where the victim was found is just outside Piscator's Beat, the border which runs down the middle of the road. Wait, so that means he shouldn't be patrolling it? Ah, you're not supposed to help!
And now it's my turn, I think.
Obviously, if anything can be thrown out the window, we've seen it.
Hold it!
But according to my notes here, the sun had gone down already and it was dark.
But Rolly and I were strolling along, gazing at the night sky, and looking for our lucky star.
Sorry?
The star that will guide us to eternal happiness.
Can't it guide you to answer the question? If a flaming book had cut across the sky in front of us, it would have lit up like a shooting star. But can we pretend that it's like an airplane?
No, if I'd seen a shooting star, I would have made a wish upon it.
Wish upon it. Wish upon it. I can't believe I'm doing this. Like, me of 13 years ago would never have bought this.
I have no words.
But really, we're an inspector, I would have said. 3 times at least.
Of course. What with the smog and everything, we couldn't actually see any stars.
In short, are you trying to say that neither a book nor a knife crossed the sky before you?
Yes, sir, that's correct, sir. As sure as the night sky in London is starless, sir. Certainly seems they're telling the truth.
And then we saw the poor woman fall to the ground, so we ran straight over to help her.
Did leave the scene to go fetch help. My trusty Rolly was there to make sure nothing was disturbed.
Hold it!
Yes, well, you said you went to a nearby police box to fetch another officer, is that right?
That's right, yes! If it had been on Rowley's beach, I would have known exactly where I was going, of course.
Oh, sorry. Don't feel bad, my love. You can't be expected to know the location of every police box on every beat.
So Rowley told me the way. Only, I sort of got a little lost on the way.
Patricia, my darling, that's why I love you. Your terrible sense of direction is bewitching to me. Oh, Pat!
Okay. Calm down.
Say the line! Oh, please. I'm starting to feel like you know a Rolly in your life and you're just like... You hate to denigrate yourself like this.
No, it just sounds so stupid. It's like saying, oh, Romeo, but like, could you please shut up?
Well, anyway, she's not saying anything weird this time.
So I suppose I was gone for about 15 minutes. But like I said, my Rowley was at the scene the whole time, making sure nothing was disturbed.
Because he was asleep.
I was off duty at the time, of course. But a true Bobby is never really off duty, sir! Didn't take my eye off the crime scene for one moment, sir. Nothing strange to report on that front, sir.
Hold it!
Nothing to report. Yeah, eventually it'll be the last time she says oh Rolly and you never know it. That's correct, sir! I haven't had my eyes wide open the entire time. Never looked away for a second. No one else approached the scene and nothing was removed from it. I can swear that on the yard's honor, sir! In any case, I like to believe that my ridiculous accent is at least like making it sound less serious. Really, that seems a little strange. Beg your pardon, sir! Strange, sir! Something that sounds altogether regular to me, sir! This burnt copy of The Lion's Pride was originally in the garret of Palsson. So the question remains, how did it find its way to the hand of the victim? Can you shed any light on that, seeing as you were at the scene of the crime the entire time? Could be a different copy, sir. One that just happened to be burnt as well, sir. Even if that were possible, why would the victim have been gripping at the book like that in her hand? As you can see from this photographic print, she had a bag around her shoulder. Sorry. These frickin' Renosuke's in Colombo and it's like, the book, it bothers me. Why would she be holding the book? Well, sir, that book was in the lady's hand from the moment we arrived at the scene. Is that so? Something about this statement that's not sitting right with me. Just one more thing that bothers me, sir. The two mysteries of how that knife ended in her back and how that book ended up in her hand. Oh, I would be all about that, Melandor. Every step of the way. Although sadly, you couldn't get Peter Falk involved. Disclaimer, I've been watching a lot of Columbo in the last 3 months. There is some common thread between them.
something? Please, Mr. Lawyer, sir.
Oh, yes, of course. What is it?
You're doubting us, aren't you? I can tell.
What? I wasn't really. I mean, what's she doing? She's the poker face girl.
Please, just because I'm a woman.
Whoa!
Just because I'm a woman doesn't make my testimony any less valuable. You might see me as the wife of a policeman, but I'm a woman of my word, I am.
And also the inaccuracies.
I really don't remember ever suggesting that I doubted you.
No excuses. I don't want to hear it because I'm insecure and I need validation. My voice will be heard.
It's confirmation. No, it's like negation bias. Like, I refuse to believe that you're confirming.
My lord, you let me speak, won't you?
I prefer she not. Yes, Mr. Peach. I will allow you to supplement your testimony if you so desire. Sometimes the path of least resistance is the sage one.
There was a very loud mutter.
I heard that. A Japanese man thinks a policeman's wife's word. Policeman's wife's word counts for nothing, does he? Well, watch out, sir. I might let you get away with something like that. Mine probably won't.
Duly noted. Mrs. B.
Is she the master of puppets?
We're falling faster through this story.
What could she possibly be about to say, I wonder?
I wonder. So my eyes never let me down. My sense of direction is a little off sometimes, though.
Hold it!
I'm sure that doesn't matter. This is B. Nobody's questioning what you've told us.
What does he still need to tell her this? Like,
I saw it, I did. That evening, I saw it clearly. That little Eastern man with the whiskers and the funny curved back, slinking away from the scene.
thinking away from the scene. Wonderful.
I know what it will see as well. I can see any flaming books and knives flying across the sky.
Oh, very clear. You just mentioned something about having a poor sense of direction.
Oh, yes, well, it's a little embarrassing lately, really. I'm always ending up at the wrong place when I've made arrangements to meet Crowley. He gets ever so cross.
Excuse me.
Constable Beat! Is there a problem? No problem, sir. Did your wife's remark now just bring something to mind, perhaps? Oh, well, in a way, sir, yes, sir. I was just remembering that the same thing happened that evening, is all. You mean Mrs. Beat lost her way on the night of the incident? Well, you see, I sent her off to find a police box in the next beat over from mine. But she was gone a fair bit longer than what I was expecting. I thought she'd be back inside 10 minutes, but my darling was gone a good 15.
Oh, Rowley, you're such a tease! But the reason I was so long was because of the bouquet, silly.
The bouquet? Sorry, what bouquet are you talking about?
With a present for our wedding anniversary. Really so romantic.
Even he's embarrassed.
I think he's done. He saved up for it with farthings and hot pennies he found in the gutter while doing his rap. That's just sad. That's just sad.
Yeah, how romantic.
I'd forgotten all about your beauty just now, had you, my darling?
Oh yes. But that was just between us. No talking about it to anyone, Master Darling. You have to, bro.
Ready? Oh.
Oh, is this where I admit that I did that with my school hat, Melandor? Because I did that with my school hat. What was that all about? Constable Beats looked very obviously troubled during that exchange.
I'm afraid I can't offer any useful insight, Mr. Naruhodo. But I'm quite sure of one thing. You have to ask Mrs. Beat about the bouquet.
I didn't even read that. I'd like the details to test me, please. I just clicked.
Oh, really? Yes, I'd love to.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
That was a double triple dot. He's pissed.
What happened was I dropped my bouquet and then left it in my way for a while. Fucking useless.
Wait, didn't I already do this one?
Hold it!
Oh, no I didn't. You mean you dropped the bouquet at the scene of the crime?
Oh, yes, that's right. I was so upset. When he ran over and saw it was a woman with a knife in her back. I was so shocked. I dropped the bouquet Rolly gave me. I was in such a dark spot where the street lights weren't causing any light.
Casting any light, so I didn't notice that there. Didn't they say there's enough light in the air so they could see everything that was happening?
Only when it matters. And then you went to the police box to report it to the policeman whose beat it was on.
Yes, and I came back to the scene to gather the other constable with me. That's when I spotted my bouquet again. But the funny thing was, when I went to pick it up, it was nowhere near the victim's body at all.
Shocking.
In case you need reminding, Mrs. Bates, the victim is not deceased.
What did she say? Okay.
I was all flustered for a moment before I heard a voice calling me from the other side of the road.
Your husband, presumably.
That's right! Seemingly, I'd gone over to the wrong side of the street. Although I'm going to blame the bouquet this time, I don't think how it got there, I really can't.
So the bouquet somehow moved from one side of Briar Road to the opposite.
Curious indeed.
Isn't it? But the worst of it is, I forgot to pick the bouquet up again when we left the scene.
That beautiful rose Rolly bought me with that change that from the gutter he spent so long collecting.
Oh, sorry,
Yeah,
just a
this
moment.
sounds-
Just a moment, this is trouble.
Buy bouquets! Do you perhaps mean this sorry solitary rose.
Oh! Ooh, yes, yes, that's it!
It's like, is that still an O or is that an ooh? Well, I can hiss probably, but I have to hiss in Van Zeke's voice, which is harder. It's like, you have to get to the back of your throat for that one.
Lonely bought me for our anniversary with all bits of change he found in the gutter.
Maybe just call it a rose.
Ah, Lord Ranzik, where did you come by the flower?
According to the report by the police officer in charge of the crime scene investigation, it was found on the edge of the pavement in front of the Garrett household.
In front of the Garrett's house. It looked like he's face palming.
Although it wasn't noticed until the morning, as it lay where the street lamps cast no light.
If I learned anything from...
It was believed to be of no relevance to the case, since it was found on the opposite side of the thoroughfare.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you. Could I have it back now, please?
Hmm. No, I think for good measure, this rose should be added to the court record as evidence.
So that means Ryunosuke is the only person who gets to hold it. I assume the court record just
put it in
means
his mouth.
pocket. The anniversary bouquet has been added to the court record. It's okay. See if we can finish this little section off. I doubt it though.
Fingers crossed.
Need to read it faster. But also I need to look at the
But
court
it's
record.
all the love.
Sorry.
You're going, you're going, you're going.
Wait. There might be something important on this.
Speedrun!
Like this. It's very stylish paper. The flowers wrapped in, isn't it?
It's just an old newspaper, Mr. Naruhodo.
Oh, I suppose it's because I'm not used to seeing English print. It looks so exotic to me.
Ah, I see.
Is something wrong?
Oh, no. I was just thinking that if you wrapped a stone-baked sweet potato in English newspaper, it might look like some sort of fancy cake.
Ah, Susanna-san, you do love your cakes.
What? Oh, goodness. An English rose. It's such a beautiful flower.
Ah, this is a rose, is it? I've never seen one before. It's the one that Elton John wrote that song about.
Do you not take an interest in flowers, Mr. Naruhodo?
I wouldn't say that exactly, but I know 3 types at least.
Gosh, 3?
He's just like me, for real. Yes, plum blossom, peach blossom, and cherry blossom.
Perhaps you should consider branching out, learning some that aren't fruit 3 berries, for example.
Isn't Japan's emblem a different one, like chrysanthemum or something? I know it because I had a trivia question I bombed. I just said cherry blossom like a dumbass. Okay, this is easy. Okay.
Oh gosh, could she stop doing that?
I want you back after the trial. You hear me? I want you back.
Good grief, rest assured that I shall do my very best not to forget Mrs. Beach.
You take matters of the crime scene for one moment, nothing strange has happened. So.
If she ends up hurting him, does that mean that she was tampering with the evidence?
Let's not think too hard about it. We've already had a juror accused of murder here. That's correct, sir. I had my eyes wide open the entire time. Never looked away for a second, sir. No one has approached the scene and nothing was removed from it, sir. I can swear on the Jarl's honor, sir. Really? That seems a little strange. Beg your pardon, sir. Strange, sir. Seems all you have a regular with me, sir. This burnt copy of the Lion's Pride was originally in the garret of household. So the question remains, how did it find its way into the hand of the victim? Can you turn on the light on that, seeing as you were at the scene of the crime the entire time? Sir? Aha! Could it be a different company, sir? One that just happened to be found as well, sir? Oh, the people, the VOD boys who are watching the speech, they don't know what to do. Even if that were possible, why would the victim have been gripping a book like that in her hand? As you can see from this photograph print, she had a bag over her shoulder. Sir? Well, sir, that book was in the lady's hand from the moment we saw her at the scene, sir. Is that so? There's something about this statement that's not right, sitting right with me. So Mister is that knife in her back and how the book ended up in her hand. There must be some common thread between them. Oh, I don't know. Is it my wife?
Mr. Naruhodo, what do you make of all of this?
Yes. The whole idea of the invisible attacker has been troubling me all along, but I believe I'm starting to get a picture of what really happened here. The fourth book that had no business being at the scene of the crime. Be sure that Mrs. Garrett was hiding something from us. It is becoming increasingly clear that someone else has been hiding something from us as well. I think I may already be armed with everything I need to strike a decisive blow here. This time, it's going to expose the whole truth about this mysterious affair. Okay, this case is nothing to move. It's good for his word. The window that's up below, yes, that's true. Anything thrown in the window would have seen it. Wait a minute. They said that the flower was somewhere where they couldn't see it, but there's not any evidence, so I can't put it. Wait. Also to drop it where she stood. But it's somewhere else. I did leave the scene to go fetch it. I trust you really. What happened was I dropped my bouquet and ended up losing my way for a while. Didn't take my... I'll try that. It's the only thing that makes kind of sense to me.
Objection!
Nope! That's wrong. So there's something odd about this. Yep. Something wrong. Yep. I mucked up. Yep. TIFU. Okay. Let's have a look at the evidence again. Warrant card. Strive to conserve the peace is a lot of beat. Patrolling officer expects to walk 20 miles. Yep. Any crimes fall in the description of the beat. Crime is discovered as beat. The policeman must assist with detective investigation. Does that count? I don't know. Like, am I just gonna present the book to him and say, no, you didn't do that?
Objection!
No, I don't that. I'm sorry, I'm not doing a good job. Do you have any ideas? Like, yes. You've seen it.
But I mean, she did say that she couldn't see anything in the dark.
Yeah,
Like,
but I
she
can't
kept
find
saying
a
that-
good piece of evidence for that. Wait. See, nothing was disturbed. Oh shit. I don't know. It's usually the second last statement. That's what it is usually. There's a flower
I don't
here.
even notice these patterns.
I already did that, so it's not that.
Can we go see what she says again?
So it's weird to me because the bouquet was on the other side of the street. But it doesn't say that in the evidence, so I can't really use that.
So does she actually stand by the evidence and like look at things, or was she on the opposite side?
I don't know, like he kind of ran around, I'm guessing.
And he also did say he wasn't very conscious for this bit.
It's like, why? She dropped it, but why is it on the other side of the road?
How did it even manage to fly over there?
It's because, like, she was on the other side of the road and she got moved, I guess.
But if she was on the other side of the road, then she wouldn't have seen the evidence, right?
Well, the thing is, like, the way I'm seeing it is, like, they were on his beat, which is on the close side of the road, but the body's on the other side of the road, so, like, she must have been there at the time, and they're just ignoring that, and I just don't know how to express this.
Okay, fine. Evidence time. Let's see the evidence.
Well, let's, like, I just kind of work out where the problem is. Like,
What if it was thrown out of the window? That's a joke.
like,
Objection!
no, it's not that. That did sound dumb, but I've really got nothing here. What about the flower, I guess?
Objection!
There we go, let's go! Reading fast time. You claim Constable Beat, there was nothing to report in the first 15 or so minutes you were on the scene. But that cannot be.
What? What did you mean to say?
In your testimony just now, Mrs. B, explained to the court that when you arrived back at the scene of the crime, the policeman assigned to that beat, the bouquet you dropped from the victim's side was no longer anywhere nearby.
Objection!
Yes, on the opposite side of Briar Road to where the victim was stacked.
But considering the size of the meager bouquet, if a single sorry bloom can be so be described,
No doubt it was blown in the wind across the street back into the gutter where it belongs.
Objection!
meager. If that were the case, why did Constable Beat not testify to the fact?
No one else approached the scene, and nothing was removed from it. Constable Beach swore to that on Scotland Yard's honour.
But the bouquet belonged to me. There's nothing to do with the case. But that's why Rolly didn't mention it, I'm sure.
No, because sadly, it's not only your bouquet we're talking about here. Well, then one thing in this case is mysteriously the wrong way around.
What are you talking about?
Think about it. Besides Mrs. Beat's bouquet, there's Mrs. Garrett's book. Mr. Garrett's copy of The Lion's Pride, which was thrown out of the window by his wife. Would have struck the pane of the casement window and landed here on the west side of the street. And yet, It was actually found here, on the opposite side of the road, on the victim's hand. Yes, we get it. She was on the other side of the road. Meanwhile, according to the testimony we've heard, Mrs. Beat's bouquet should have been dropped here at the scene of the crime, on the east side of the street. In fact, and we know because it's on his beat. But it is actually found here on the opposite side of the road, in front of Mr. and Mrs. Garrett Beat house. There's no logical explanation of these things. Unless somebody deliberately moved them.
What are you trying to say?
Sorry, I stared at the words and I was like,
Why are you talking? It sounds like you think my Rolly said something wrong. Don't you listen to a word that scrawny lawyer says? Pushing on about books and bouquets, why should we care? It's nitpicking, that's what it is.
You are nitpicking and biased, I win. Oh good. Mrs. Garrett has come around. You might call it nitpicking, Mrs. Garrett. But deliberately meddling with the scene of the crime is a criminal offence. It's called, obstruction of justice? Let's go. Oh. I guess so.
pampering Mr. Naruhodo.
If you want to be more specific. But the person responsible for this tampering cannot admit to it for a very subtle but compelling reason.
Objection!
Tampering? You barely heard the term before! Tell us, my learned friend, who would possibly have cause to carry out such an elaborate deception? Yes, someone who tampered with the scene of the crime that evening. All the evidence in this testimony points to one particular person. It was Byakuya! He moved the crime scene again!
Counsel, I must demand that you substantiate this conjecture. Who are you saying is responsible for tampering with the scene of the crime?
Actually don't know if it's supposed to be. It feels like it's not. Or no, maybe it is her because like she wanted to make sure it wasn't at her window. I don't know.
Take that!
How did she get out of there in time?
No. There's only one person who could have done this. Do you intend to share your internal monologue, Counsel? Sorry, my lord. I was just taking a moment to get things straight in my mind. That moment of wasted court's time, you'll pay the price! Oh, we might end it a different way. He's getting more strict around here. What you were thinking is right. There's only one person who had the opportunity to tamper with the scene of the crime. This can be no mistake. So, there's no point overthinking it. Okay, I'll just say it. Then this is
You need
dead
to
wrong.
save just in case. I didn't answer, Counsel. Who are you saying is responsible for tampering with the scene of the crime?
I don't need to save as much. Like, it doesn't really matter if you lose in this game.
No, but does it roll back really far?
Not really.
I forget.
Take that!
Obviously, there's only one person who could have been. Constable Rolly Beat, it was you!
Oh, is he Rolly Beat because Rolly Beetle? What? A policeman? A member of Scotland Yard?
I don't know what that is. He's not one of the Beatles I know.
What nonsense! How could my Rolly do something like that?
Rolly Polly?
There's no one straighter than my husband. You're probably working here tirelessly for the people of London.
Mrs. Beat, you said in your testimony that the husband asked you to go by a nearby police box to fetch an officer on duty. 15 minutes that you were absent from the scene is the only opportunity anyone had to tamper with it.
You're making it up. It's all nonsense. It's all lies.
There's enough time for the great Santini to do his water trick.
What about the Japanese man with the whiskers? I bet it was him who did it.
Objection!
If it was true, Constable Beat would have seen him do it.
Oh,
And forgive me for pointing it out, but when you dropped the bouquet, Mrs. Beat, it was after the defendant had fled the scene.
well.
Objection!
First you make accusations about the landlord and his wife, now you incriminate a policeman as well. You are such a leftist. But your accusations lack one very important thing. You claim the crime scene was tampered with. There is only one reason anyone would commit such a reckless crime: to hide something.
That's right, he's right. But my husband and I just happened to be there, that's all. So why would we have anything to hide? It doesn't make sense.
offer no motive for this alleged tampering. That's what you do. Your actions are nothing but empty threats.
This would be had a very good reason for wanting to tamper with the crime. That's the key to this entire affair.
So now, Hurley, have you? Have you managed to solve the mystery?
Consul, you have made a very serious accusation against a London police officer. If you are mistaken, I'm sure I need not point out that your reputation as a lawyer will be irrevocably damaged. Just like my feet. With that stark warning in mind, you will now explain to the court the motive for this alleged tampering.
Yes, my lord. Constable Beats waiting for tampering the crime scene was to hide. It's not the bouquet.
Where the victim fell.
It's... Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Where the victim fell to the ground. That is what this Bobby had to cover up. At all costs.
What?
Where the victim fell? You mean where she was attacked? What are you talking about? We told you at the very start, didn't we? On the pavement of Briar Road, we saw it happen, remember? It was right here. If anyone didn't already know.
Oh my god, she's still doing that. That's certainly what everyone has been led to believe. But in fact, that isn't where the victim was stabbed at all.
What? What?
He's just hunched over. It's hilarious.
I'm beginning to wonder where this tumultuous trail will end, Consul.
Here!
I wonder if you and I, Judge, you and I.
Here is where it ends. Alright, are we doing this tomorrow or next week?
I can't do this tomorrow.
Okay.
Let's have something next week. I don't
Sorry,
have the
what?
time tomorrow. I don't have the time tomorrow, so it'll have to be next week.
Alright. But hey, that was actually reasonably like 3 minutes.
Huzzah!
I can't wait to get back to it in the middle of this.
Be very confused, yeah.
Alright.
Me too.
That'll soon be Friday or Saturday. We'll work that out. So for everyone else, if you're watching this live or via VOD, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, etc., etc., etc. I hope you have a good time. It doesn't matter. All that matters here, etc. And see you in the next one. Bye. Oh wait, let's do it. Let's.
Bye!